Hey guys, welcome to the first meeting of our Lions Heart year. We have quite a nice group. I'm Mrs. Terry, your class coordinator, and most of you are returning. We've got a couple of new members like Paul, who's going to go to Tesoro High School, and Steven's going to Santa Margarita, and they're both football players and rivals to each other. So let's welcome our new members and all the returning ones. So the first order of business that we need to do in the first meeting of our Lions Heart year is to run our officer elections. So before we get into our regular agenda, we're going to do that. Now, officers are members of our group, and a couple rules of business here to share with you is one is you need to be attending today in order to run for an office, and you need to be here in order to vote for someone who's running for an office. We do like everybody to participate in holding an office during their tenure in Lions Heart. So if you've already been an officer, you might wait and see if somebody else wants that position before you run. Okay? So we're going to also talk about a couple of different ways that we elect our officers. First, we can do it by ballot, where everybody fills in who they want to vote for, and we collect that and review it and decide from there. Or do it by hand vote. So let's decide that now, if you want to run our officer election by a vote of hand, raising our hands, or if we want to do by ballot. So raise your hand if you want to do it by voting by hand. Okay, that's everybody. All right, so we're going to do it that way. I'm going to pass out, if you can help me and pass out, this is the list of the offices to everyone. And then I will read about first the president position. I'll describe the president position to you, and then we'll ask who is interested in running for the office of president. And when you decide that you want to run for an office, you will need to stand up and tell us why we should vote for you, why you're the best candidate for the position. Okay, so be prepared to do that. So for the president, the description is, the president shall set an agenda for each meeting and send it via email to each member in his class at least 1 week prior to the meeting. The agenda should include the date, time, place of the meeting, and matters to be discussed. The president shall lead each meeting and follow the agenda using Robert's Rules of Order. Members holding this position shall log 3 hours of community service total for the year. So, who is interested in being our president for this year? We have Jonathan, David, and Jake. So in just a moment, I'll start with one of you and ask you to stand up and describe why we should vote for you. Okay, let's start with our first candidate, Jake.
Hi, my name is Jake, and I'm running for president. I feel like I would be a good candidate for president because I've participated a lot in this community. I feel like I would be the perfect role for president, and I wish I could have gotten it the last 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. All right, how about David?
All right. So I'm running for president because I feel that I would be a perfect fit for this position because I've already had leadership experience, both as vice president of this group and also in different sports teams I've been on, and in school I've been editor-in-chief of the yearbook, and so I've had experience leading groups and leading these people, and I've loved being a part of this group with you people. Glad to see the new members. I want to work together. I want to help you guys help others, and that's why I want to be president. Hope you guys vote for me, and yeah, let's have fun with this thing. Let's go, guys.
Thank you, David. And last, Jonathan.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm running for the president position. I feel like I would be the perfect person for this position because I already have prior experience with leadership, including a black belt in Taekwondo and the captain of my tennis team. I do not think of this as a president, a vice president, and everyone else below that. I view it as a team. I want to work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Wow, 3 great candidates. Okay, since we are voting by hand, we're going to ask the 3 of you to step out of the room. Okay, so let's start with Jake. Let's raise your hand for who would like to vote for Jake. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now we have David. Okay, and Jonathan. All right, boys, you can come back into the room. Jonathan, David, Jake. All right. You guys did a great job, but Jake is your new president for this year. Congratulations, Jake. Okay, the next position that we need to fill is the vice president, and the description is, shall lead the meeting in the absence of the president. The vice president shall place a phone call to each member in the morning of the meeting to remind them of the meeting and give driving directions if needed. Members holding this position shall log 3 hours of community service total for the year. And who is interested in being our vice president? All right, David and Robert. Okay, and we're doing this by hand election, so why don't we start with David? You come up and tell us why you want this position.
All right. I would like to be vice president because I didn't get president, and I want the hours and I want the chance to serve my community. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And Robert.
I'd like to be vice president because I think I could send a text the morning of the meeting so then everyone knows to be there. And I think that me as vice president, I won't miss a text and I'll have a lot more people at the meetings, and I want the hours.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Okay, David and Robert, you can leave the room. And we'll start with David. Raise our hands. Who's 3? Okay, and Robert? Okay, David and Robert, you can come back. Thank you, guys. You did a great job. Robert is our vice president. Okay, and if we can roll right into the secretary position, that position is, the secretary shall provide a sign-in sheet for each member to sign at the beginning of each meeting. The secretary shall take detailed minutes in Word format and should always include time and place of meeting, list of members in attendance, members absent, and details of the meeting, including any motions. For privacy, all members shall be referred to only by their first name and last initial in the minutes. These minutes shall be emailed to all members within 2 weeks of the meeting. Meeting minutes shall be approved or corrected at the next meeting. Once approved, the class coordinator shall upload these approved or corrected minutes to the class page. Members holding this position shall log 5 hours of community service total for the year. Who is interested in the secretary position? Got one. And you'll have to remind me your name.
Jonathan.
Oh, you're another Jonathan, thank you. Any other candidates? We need one more, come on. Peter, I elect you to run for this position. Okay, but we'll start with Jonathan since he volunteered. And you can stand up and tell us why you want this position.
I would like to be secretary because I have good penmanship and I am responsible to record the minutes. And also I would like the hours.
Okay. Sorry, I put Peter on the spot.
I would like to run for secretary because I'm organized and I believe I can run for it, and I do want to help my community and get closer with my fellow teammates.
Okay, thank you. All right, you guys can step out of the room. Okay, raise hands for Jonathan. Okay, and for Peter. Okay, I think Jonathan needs one more. All right, come on back. Thank you guys, you did a great job. Jonathan is our new secretary. And last is our historian photographer. The historian shall take photos throughout the year of members in their group performing community service and or at meetings. Photos should be sent to the class coordinator to be included on the website and used for photo slideshow at the awards event. Members holding this position shall log 1 hour of community service total for the year. This is the most fun position. So we should have several of you interested in it. Who would like to be our historian photographer? We've got 1, 2, 3. Anybody else? All right, 4. Okay, so we've got David, Jonathan, Jason, and Zach. Thank you. All right, Jonathan, why don't you start?
My name's Jonathan. I want to run for the historian position because I like taking pretty pictures.
Jason?
I'm Jason. I would like to run for the historian position because I love both photography and videography, and I won a national title in videography.
Zach?
Hello, my name is Zach. I would like to run for historian. I'm great with photography, and I would like to promote our group and show that we are a great group and we like to serve our community. Thank you.
And David?
All right. I would like to be a historian because I enjoy photography, taking pictures, and recording the memories that our group creates while helping others. Thank you.
I'm proud of our members that are trying to run for an office when they weren't elected for a prior office. So that's gutsy, y'all, to come up here and do that. So good job. All right, would the four of you step out of the room, please? Okay, let's start with David. Who would like to vote for David for historian photographer? Okay, then we have Jonathan. Okay, Jason. And Zach. All right. Okay, boys, you can come back. You guys did a great job. David, you are the photographer, historian. Congratulations. So we have our new officers for the Lion's Heart year effective today. You guys assume your responsibilities, and I will support you in any way you need. You'll fulfill that until April 10th, the end of our Lion's Heart year. Congratulations. Oh, and a reminder that there is a training video online. I encourage you to review that. It tells you more about the positions that you're fulfilling for this year. And I don't know if I said April 10th or April 30th, but the correction is April 30th is when you hold this position through, okay? Thank you and congratulations. So we can run our officer election either by hand or by ballot. So let's raise our hands. Who would like to vote by hand? Okay, just a couple of you, and by ballot. All right, which offers a little more privacy. So we're going to start with the president position. Okay, so I'm going to pass out the ballot so we can vote for our presidents, and our candidates are Jake, David, and Jonathan. If you can take your pens and just write down their first name. After you write down the candidate that you're voting for, pass your cards to the outside front members, please, and I will collect the ballots. So we had Jake, Jonathan, and David running for the office of president. Okay, just go ahead and pass them in. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna step outside of the room and find out who our candidate is. Be right back. And I've just passed back your ballots. Now we're going to vote for the position of the vice president. Remember to write down just the individual's name. We have David and Robert. Do not put your names on the ballots, and then pass them forward again. Thank you. Everybody's okay. I'll step outside the room. All right, so I'll turn the ballots back over to you, pass those back out. Now we're voting for the secretary position. And for the secretary, we have running Jonathan and Peter. Okay, pass them forward again. Thank you. One more. All right. Back out. And lastly, we have the historian historian photographer, and we have David, Jonathan, Jason, and Zach. So I'm going to collect those now. Good, we have everybody's ballot. Great job. Okay. So we've done our election. Yay.